Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lifetime Success. We are still on the trail of men with a billionaire mindset. I am so excited because every man that sits down with me with a billionaire mindset pours back into me, which allows me to continue pouring back into the IBA Success platform and communities near and far. IBA Success Magazine, we are a national publication that focuses primarily on empowering, educating, and promoting the community, nonprofits, and entrepreneurship. So I am excited to sit with the one and only, the one and only Commissioner Larry Brinson out of the city of Ocoee. The one and only.
The one and only.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Miss Young. I appreciate you.
Yes. So I'm thrilled to sit with you again. What I just said is so important to me. Every time I sit down with one of the men out of this edition, I feel empowered and poured back into. And IBA Success, we reached out to you because we wanted to know about you and one of the leaders of the city of Ocoee and how you give back, your message to youth, other young men. We definitely consider you a man with a billionaire mindset.
Okay.
So tell us what you believe men with a billionaire mindset is.
I think that's a very good question. I think the billionaire mindset is not just about money. It's more about attitude and mentality, about how you approach things in life.
Okay.
Knowing that pretty much whatever you want to accomplish in life is available to you.
Okay.
But you have to make choices to get there. And sometimes the choices you make may prevent you from getting there or delaying you from getting there. And I think that's one of the main things about my life. I'm of the mind that most people in life, especially here in America, can get to wherever they want to be because America is full of opportunities. Okay. But you have to make conscious decisions to move in that direction what you think you want to go in, instead of just aimlessly wandering about your life thinking that you should get something out of it just for being alive.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. You wrote a story, not a story. You wrote a letter. This was personal to young men. In this current edition, it's on page 86. Tell me about this story, this article.
Well, yeah, I was asked to maybe write a letter to young men, and that's something that I didn't take lightly because I think the youth of today, regardless of race, color, creed, or whatever, is in need of direction. And I think they're also in need of good role models. But also, I think they need to understand a good message. And one of the messages that I have to them is they have choices in life. Mm-hmm. And the choices that are going to be made in their life probably should come from them. But they need to make those choices. And whatever the choices they are, whatever choices they make, they have to take responsibility for those choices. And that's one of the main things about making a choice. You have to take ownership and responsibility for the choices you make.
Absolutely. I know when I made the choice to be an entrepreneur, it was not easy and it's still not easy, but that was a choice that I made. And I decided to not give up on that choice. But throughout that choice, I've learned lessons on how to maintain myself. Right. And I do that through the pages of IBA Success because the more you pour into others, whether it's entrepreneurship or a community leader, you got to have something that's poured back into yourself.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. We have to, if we don't know how, we must learn how to do self-care.
Yes.
We have to do it. One of the challenges, and I'm not sure if this was part of the interview, but I feel compelled to talk about it, is some of the tragedies that happened in the United States recently. But some of it is just people just unhappy or whatever. But some of it stems around mental health.
Yes.
And that's important because we have to understand that hurt people. And for those people to not hurt people, they need to get help. Mm-hmm. But for them to get help, they have to make a choice because I can want to help you all I want to, but I can't force you to get that help. The choice has to be yours to make. And that's something that's very, very close to my heart, especially because of recent events that have happened.
Mm-hmm. When you say the choice is yours, where did that formulate from?
Yeah, that formate. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York,
Okay.
right? And then that's one of the tragedies recently happened here in the last few weeks. But there was a small store in our neighborhood right there on Jefferson, on the east side, in Buffalo, Maston Park area. And across the street there was a major grocery store.
Okay.
But the smaller store was called The Choice Is Yours, and it was a small bodega. And the owner asked me one day, did I know why the name of the store was The Choice Is Yours? And I said I did not. So he said, well, what does his store do for the community? And I said, oh, you guys do, block parties, you give away turkeys, you give away book bags, you just do block parties for no reason at all. And he says, that's true. He said, so what does the other store across the street do for the community? And I couldn't think of anything that they did.
Right.
And he says, so in other words, you can spend your money here, or you can go across the street and spend your money.
Okay.
The choice is yours.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, that, at 10 or 11 years old, I thought that was very deep. And that stuck with me my whole life.
Okay.
To the point where I now I taught my son that,
Mm-hmm.
that those decisions are choices. They're not just decisions you make. It's a choice that you make to either do something or not do something.
Wow. When you make the choice to serve as the commissioner for the city of Ocoee,
Yes.
What weighed heavy for you to say, yes, this is a role that I want to do and give back to myself in?
That's a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's tough is because I believe that the city of Ocoee, Florida, is different than it used to be.
Okay.
I think the city of Ocoee it's the new Ocoee. Unfortunately, there's still some of the old Ocoee that's left around.
Okay.
And at the time when I was talked into helping move the city forward, they talked me into doing it by becoming an elected official. Even though I don't believe that I had any political aspirations then or now.
Okay.
But I do believe that you always give back.
Mm-hmm.
If you're successful, I think one of the requirements of being successful is to give back. So you never give up on whatever your dream is,
Mm-hmm.
but you always give back to wherever you came from. And I think being an elected official is my way of giving back.
Wow.
Because and let me say this also, I too was an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
for 14, 15 years, and I did well for myself.
Okay.
But then it got to the point where I said, okay, I think I've done enough. Now I can relax.
Mm-hmm.
And then here come these guys coming to my house, putting me in a headlock saying, I need you to help me in this political arena. And I'm
Okay.
like, and two things got me. One, they said, I need your help. Will you help me? And two, never give up, but always give back.
Wow.
And those are the things that drove me into the political world.
Wow. What have you learned in the last, because you said you didn't really have a political, eyesight. Okay. So this has been a learning experience over the last 3 years, 4 years.
It has been, but it hasn't been.
Okay.
It has been in the sense that I've not been a politician. I'm
Okay.
not, and I still don't consider myself a politician. But it has not been because I've operated in government and in business at high levels. So
Okay.
I only dealt with C-level when I was in corporate America. So I
Okay.
only dealt with CIOs and CFOs and CEOs. When I was in the military, I served in the Marine Corps, hoorah.
Mm-hmm.
My last assignment, I was the aviation operations chief for the Marine Corps. There was only one, and I was
Okay.
it. So I was able to be in high-level meetings and see how that operated. So when I became, if you will, operating in Ocoee, this, being in high-pressure situations was not new to me.
Okay.
And it was easy, but maybe easier than some, for me to be able to operate in that space. But in the same token, I have no political aspirations,
Okay.
and that's a challenge because some people have said, because you have no political aspirations, you're perfect for the job.
Okay. Well, just me being here in the city of Ocoee, I think the city needs humans that have
Yes.
that just real humans that care about other humans and want to do the right thing. And I see you doing that. And this is one of the reasons that we reached out to you to say, hey, let's share some of that knowledge and rub some of that off to some of our young men, our next generation.
Yeah, and it's important. And I go back to what's been happening throughout, I would say a generation over the last 40 years or so, where art is imitating life, imitating art. And I say that because even rap music, rap used to be fun when it first started. They were braggadocious, but it was about things that was nonsensical.
Okay.
Then it became quote unquote gangster rap.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden people start emulating this gangster rap. And now you have youth, following something that's not real, because many of those guys in these videos and rap, that's not their stuff.
Okay.
Right. And so now we have the youth looking at this on television and through music, and they're emulating these images, and they're becoming even more lost. And trying to bring them back into the fold, get them back in course, is not an easy thing to do. And I think it's something that we can't lose hope. I've said this many times that it takes courage to be hopeful.
Yes.
But hopelessness is the enemy of courage. We have to be courageous enough to be hopeful for something better. Because once we say it's not worth it, or it will never change, then it wins.
Wow.
It wins, and we can't do that. We can never give up, but we always got to give back.
I like that. We can never give up, but we always have to give back. If you are just tuning in, you're going to want to tag a friend, especially a friend that has a young man in their household, and subscribe to IBA Success Magazine and read the heartfelt letter on never giving up, but understanding how to give back. This is Lifetime Success. We are with our commissioner of the city of Ocoee, Commissioner Larry Brinson. I'm going to say it again, the one and only. That is really, I'm appreciative to be able to have this knowledge from you on this platform today. In the letter that you wrote to Dear Young Man, would you read a little bit of that letter for us today?
Sure.
Okay. And this again is on page 86 in the current edition. Men with a Billionaire Mindset. This is the time right now. If you have a young son, tell them to come on over or share, copy this link and send it to him through text. Dear Young Man.
Okay, I'll start from the beginning. It reads, Dear Young Man, if only I can tell you all the choices and opportunities that lie ahead. I wish I could tell you all the wonderful accomplishments you will achieve, all the amazing discoveries you will make, the cures for diseases, the next social media platform, or maybe the design and engineering of the best video game ever made. I wish I could tell you all those things and so much more. I want to, but I can't. Unfortunately, I can't tell you if you go to school, get good grades, all your dreams will come true. But what I can tell you is that there are choices in life, in your life. And what I can tell you, you have a choice.
Yes, you have a choice.
You have a choice. And what I can tell you, the choice is yours.
The choice is yours.
Yep.
I love it. The choice is yours, and not just young men that are watching this, anyone that is watching this. The choice is yours to never give up, but to give back. There are so many ways in a community that a person can give back. What are some ways that you think a person that's watching this right now can just give back in general?
Well, and that's a very good question. And I think one of the main ways to give back is to be present. And oftentimes, I know when I was growing up, our community helped raise us. And nowadays, you just don't find that.
Right.
But I do believe, just like if an adult goes to work and they're making X number of dollars an hour, they still want to know what they're supposed to be working. They don't go to work and have nothing to do. I think kids understand that concept as well. They want to be raised. They want to have direction. They want some discipline in their life as well as some structure. And so I would say one of the ways you can give back is provide structure to our youth. Our youth is in need of not just a male figure, but of a female figure, someone who's positive in their life. And it may be as easy as a 13-year-old teaching a 5-year-old how to tie their shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I have a program that I used to teach to kids, and I would put the letters VIP up on the screen, and I would ask the kids in the room, what does VIP stand for? And most of them had no idea. And this one young lady, eventually someone got it. And this one young lady asked me, she said, well, Mr. Brinson, she said, I know what VIP stands for now, but we don't talk like that in our house. And that broke my heart because this young girl was like 11, 12 years old, but she was such a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
But no one in her house had ever told her she was special. No one in her house ever told her she was important. But that's all she was looking for. She was looking for someone to guide her. So if I had one thing to say, be present in the lives of our youth because they need us. Saying the youth of our future is not just a saying. It is true. They are on deck. They're next.
Yeah.
they're next. They're next.
Yes. And I can't do nothing but back you 100% on that one. Last year, Young Success was founded, which is an organization that helps youth create their entrepreneur dreams with guidance and mentorship. So there are so many ways that you can give back by volunteering your time. When you give back to yourself, you're able to give back to others. And that's what I've learned. So we first started, you said self-care, that's important. And it's also important to educate yourself because education unlocks doors.
Yes, absolutely. I am big on education. Kind of a little rewind. I believe that the mental health issue that's happening here in the nation is important. For us to have that uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the uncomfortable conversations we need to have. But the mental health piece is hurt people. Mm. And we need to have that conversation so we can at least teach our people to identify when someone is hurt. Mm-hmm. That way we can possibly talk them into getting help. And help them make that choice to receive that help. But self-care is so very important that oftentimes we get caught up in the rat race of life and we forget about us. Pastors need pastors.
Yes.
Pastor needs to, just like you go to your pastor's event, who does the pastor go to? A pastor needs pastors, and it's just like everyone else. Big Mama needs somebody to go to as well. So
as we close out this interview, because of course I can sit here and talk all day with you. And I'm thankful
I'm
for
shy
that.
by now.
And I'm thankful for that. But as we close out, I just want to say, yes, the choice is yours. And please follow IBA Success Magazine. Follow Commissioner Larry Brinson. Follow us on our YouTube and subscribe because just like this interview was so impactful, and I hope you will share it with youths and, from young women to young men. Listen to it yourself as an adult and ask yourself, what are you doing to give back? Because the choice is yours. You all, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget, share, subscribe. Any last minute words before we go?
No, I think you said it all.
You said it all.
The choice is yours.
The choice is yours. Have a great day. And thank you so much again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.